Look at this little cookie, this little amazing... It looks so delicious, but I don't want to eat it either because it's so nicely decorated. Mmm. So today is Mother's Day Eve, which is probably equally as important and stressful as Christmas Eve for those of you last-minute shoppers. And I thought it would be cool to take today's vlog and share with you some what not to do's for Mother's Day. I think a very clear first step in what not to do for Mother's Day is last-minute shopping. I am not this year having to do last-minute shopping, which is awesome. But usually what happens, and some people say they work better under pressure, when it comes to gift giving and Mother's Day, last-minute shopping creates a low quality in gift giving. So you got to do it ahead of time to make sure that you get a good quality gift for Mother's Day. The second thing is it's okay and cute for like the little ones to, you know, make like homemade gifts and present them to their mothers, but it's not okay for the husband who's giving a gift to the mother of his children, like a homemade gift. You gotta do something a bit more extravagant.
Yeah.
Like, even though it might come from the heart, it's not gonna be okay if I make something of equal quality and value as Justice does. No offense, Justice.
None taken.
Another thing, well, you know, these are steps, but they're not really steps. These are just things to, you know, avoid doing. So the one thing I really appreciate about Monet is that she lets me know what she wants or expects from Mother's Day, which I really appreciate about that. But if you're just going to do what they expect or what they want without any creativity or like a surprise, you're in for a world of hurt. So make sure that you do something that they're not expecting. That is what really makes a good Mother's Day.
Expecting that was good. That would make the good Mother's Day. Oops.
It's also important to remember that it's not about the gift you're giving, but the message that is conveyed through the gift that you give. You want the message to be one of, I really love you, it's thoughtful, it's creative. Once again, the message is important, not just the gift. Part of that message is, I value you as a mother, especially when you gotta take care of all of these kiddos and work very hard doing it. Now, I know there are always exceptions to these rules, but what I've learned over the years, and this is probably a very clear one, especially if you've been married for some time, is that she never means what she says. Figure out exactly what she is saying, even though she's not saying it directly. And I think it's okay if you don't quite get the message right, as long as you show that you tried. The boys are down for nap and quiet time. Figured this would be a good time to chat about today's passages. It is Psalms 102, 103, and 104. These Psalms are really just beautiful. You know, I was reading them. Well, I'll be honest with you. As I'm reading large chunks every day, it's really difficult to just stop and pause and meditate and ponder on the day's passage, but thankfully today I was able to have a good amount of time just to really kind of soak in these three Psalms. And there's just so much beauty to them. They just speak so beautifully of God in His majesty, in His timelessness, in relation to everything. Like there are so many things that will not last forever, and there are so few things that do last forever. And we see that with these Psalms. We see the importance of just crying out to the Lord and blessing the Lord. We think of the Lord blessing us, but David, he's crying out saying, oh my soul, bless the Lord. And just going through beautiful characteristics of the character and nature of God. Psalm 102 is this cry, this plea to the Lord. Lord, would you hear my cry? The psalmist feels like his life is fading, that his enemies around him are conquering him and being victorious. But in spite of all that, he still sets his eyes to the Lord. And then Psalm 103 is just a beautiful psalm. This is where we see David blessing the Lord. And as he's doing so, he's reminding himself of the beautiful attributes of God. The Lord forgives, heals, redeems, he crowns, he satisfies, he works righteousness and justice, makes known his ways. The Lord is merciful, he's gracious, he's slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love. That phrase, steadfast love, we see a lot in this psalm. It's just beautiful. He removes our sin as far as the east is from the west. The Lord is compassionate and steadfast love for those who fear him. And I think what's important with this psalm is it's really easy to look at all those nice, wonderful characteristics of God and just automatically attribute them to us. But the psalm is also actually very clear that the Lord is those things to these particular people. And the people that he's talking about are those who fear the Lord, who keep his covenant, who follow his commandments, obey his word, and do his will. We often want the blessing, we want all the nice stuff about the character and nature of God without any of the struggle, without any of the obedience, without any of the just simply following him. And it's a reminder for us today to obey, to follow, to be intimate and draw near to the Lord. Then Psalm 104 is more of just this blessing the Lord, but kind of this a broad stroke, if you will, of looking at how God is creator. And not only has he created everything in its intricate detail, but he is involved in the process, the current process of creation as everything is going on. He's not this deistic God that created everything to run on its own and he's out of here, but he's constantly intricately involved with what is happening. But I think, my heart today is just bless the Lord. In whatever it is that you get to do today for the kingdom of God, that you would just bless the Lord in the process, because he has blessed you far more than you are ever deserving. Where are we going now?
Grandma and Papa's house.
Yep.
Grandma and Papa's.
We're going to Grandma and Papa's house. It's really hard to see, but my wife and my sister are dancing in there. I think they're doing a TikTok. It's kind of weird. And today's vlog is over.